Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to this explainer, where today we're tackling one of the absolute most universal and, let's be totally honest, most stressful homeowner frustrations out there. We have all been there, right? You go to brush your teeth or flush a toilet, and instead of water rushing away like it's supposed to, it slowly rises up to say hello. It's a blocked drain, and it can literally derail your entire day. But how do you actually know what's going on down there in the dark?
I mean, is your drain clogged again? You know the drill. You try plunging it, maybe pour something down the drain, cross your fingers, and hope for the best. But then the problem keeps coming right back. It's a completely stressful underground mystery, mainly because you can't see the problem. You have no idea how much it's going to cost or what it's going to take to actually fix it.
Well, here is the good news. A blocked drain is rarely an actual mystery for long once the right diagnosis is chosen. In the plumbing world, you really don't have to guess anymore. That whole sinking feeling of anxiety goes away when you realize that this is entirely solvable if you just take the right approach. It all comes down to choosing the right tool to understand the problem. Today, we're looking at the two heavy hitter contenders in plumbing diagnostics to figure out exactly what is happening in those pipes. Contender 1, the snake, also known as the muscle. So our first tool is the traditional, tried-and-true method for dealing with a stoppage, and it is all about physical force. A plumbing snake is essentially an auger. It's a long, really flexible metal cable that a technician feeds right down into the pipe. When it hits resistance, it removes the obstruction by either pushing straight through it or rotating to break it up and pull it out. It's a highly physical tool, perfectly designed to aggressively clear a path and restore your water flow. And for specific common issues, it's absolutely fantastic. If your technician uses a snake as a first step and it fully restores the flow, the obstruction was likely one of a few common culprits. We're talking about standard grease buildup from a kitchen sink, stubborn hair clogs in a shower drain, maybe some mineral scale, or, let's be real, a rogue Lego brick that a toddler decided to flush. In those scenarios, the snake is an incredibly cost-effective, immediate force response to just get things moving again. However, there is a massive limitation that we absolutely need to understand here. The snake works entirely blind. A technician might push that auger through the line, feel some resistance, break it up, and watch the water drain. Success, right? Well, maybe. Because the snake cannot reliably show what is happening along the entire length of the pipe. It might clear a partial blockage, sure, but it completely misses the root cause that's just lying in wait further down the line. Basically, it tells you that the pipe is open, but it definitely doesn't tell you if the pipe is healthy. Which brings us to contender 2, the camera, otherwise known as the eyes. Now, what's really interesting about this is that if the snake is the muscle, this tool is the eyes. It actually isn't designed to clear a clog at all. It's designed to see the absolute truth underground. A sewer or drain camera is a CCTV line camera that gives you a crystal clear live feed, and often recorded footage, of the very interior of your pipes. It shows exactly where the blockage is located, what materials it's made of, and crucially, the overall condition of the pipe walls. This single tool turns "we kinda think it's clogged" into a definitive, irrefutable assessment of your plumbing's health. Because it reveals the hidden culprits. These are the major structural deteriorations that a blind snake simply cannot feel or communicate back to the plumber. We're talking about cracked pipe sections, offset joints where the earth has physically shifted, aggressive tree roots intruding into the line, recurring pipe collapses, and heavy corrosion. These are massive underlying issues that will cause a drain to clog over and over again, no matter how many times you snake it out. Let's get into the showdown choosing the right tool. So how do you actually know which tool you should use? Well, it all comes down to the symptoms. If the issue is highly localized, say, just a sudden blockage affecting one single fixture like your kitchen sink overflowing, and the water drains completely normally once the debris is removed, snaking is likely enough. It's a quick, affordable fix for a simple stoppage. But look at the other side. If the situation is complex, uncertain, or if clearing the drain requires repeated, heavy effort because you have a history of identical backups, that's a whole different story. A camera inspection immediately becomes the priority to prevent blind, useless repairs. So the crucial point is knowing your triggers. You need to stop snaking blindly if you have reoccurring backups. If you hear multiple fixtures gurgling at the exact same time, or if you're dealing with foul odors that just won't go away and visible water pooling in unusual areas. Guys, these are massive red flags. They point directly to severe structural or alignment problems that require immediate visual confirmation. And now for the plot twist, the professional workflow. Let's see how this builds, because while we've framed this whole thing as a showdown out in the field, these tools are actually a highly coordinated team.
Step 1, a master plumber will often start with the snake. They use it to clear out the murky water and immediate debris, essentially making a clear path. Step 2, once that initial blockage is out of the way, they send the camera down to visually confirm what remains and thoroughly inspect the pipe's integrity. It's really a masterful 1-2 punch of clearing then diagnosing. Of course, a professional adjusts this workflow on the fly based on a few specific decision factors. They're going to evaluate the severity of the issue. Is it a total, complete backup or just a somewhat slow drain? They'll look at the likelihood of structural issues based on the age of your plumbing system and the property's repair history. They also determine if you need a visual record, maybe for insurance documentation or to plan a major excavation. Actually, scratch that. Sometimes if symptoms strongly point to severe structural damage right off the bat, they will skip the snake entirely and go straight to the camera so they don't accidentally make things worse.
As a consumer, you really want to be empowered to ensure you're getting the right service. Before you hire a contractor for a major recurring issue, just ask them outright. What exactly will you inspect? What decisions will these results drive? And most importantly, will you actually produce camera footage and interpret it with me before recommending some expensive repair? This guarantees you aren't just paying for a blind guess. And this brilliantly illustrates the core shift here. Using a camera changes the entire process. You are no longer just crossing your fingers and hoping a clog is gone. You are, as the source material perfectly states, turning troubleshooting into an evidence-based repair plan. You are finding out exactly why that frustrating recurring problem keeps happening, so you can finally fix it once and for all. So I'm going to leave you with this final, incredibly important thought for the very next time you hear that dreaded gurgle in your pipes. Are you just going to treat the symptom by sending the muscle in blind again? Or are you completely ready to use the eyes, look at the cold, hard evidence, and finally diagnose the true cause? It's literally the difference between a temporary patch and permanent peace of mind. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this gives you total clarity the next time you have to tackle a plumbing mystery.